Joe, you mentioned the Port Adelaide Geelong game, Sam, and a fair bit of fallout from that as well, starting with Lindsay Thomas.
Yeah, well, that's where it all began, with Lindsay Thomas. Now, he has been referred directly to the tribunal as well tomorrow night. So he and James Sicily, along with Melbourne and the Tigers, will all be in action tomorrow night for this hit on Scott Selwood. It started a bit of a brawl, a fracas straight afterwards. This is what Cameron Ling had to say when assessing what he thought of the Lindsay Thomas incident.
That bump, though, that Lindsay Thomas executed last night is illegal. But that's the one that could put a bloke in hospital, could potentially
very dangerous.
Break his neck and cause quadriplegia. Look, that one, for me, is as outlawed and as cheap a shot as you can take on a footy field, along with a throwing elbow, all those sorts of ones. That was a dog act by Lindsay Thomas last night.
The outrage and hysteria over this incident doesn't match the incident itself. Yes, he deserves a couple of weeks. You can see in that vision he got forearm, shoulder, then head. To be calling it a dog act, I think Lingy's played this game at the highest level and hard for a long period of time. No footballer can sit there and say that is a dog act. It wasn't behind play, it wasn't premeditated. The ball was 2 metres away. I think they're going after Lindsay Thomas because of his past, not because of that incident. And Lingy should apologise.
I totally agree with you.
Apologise for what, Brent?
Well, for damaging Lindsay Thomas's whole reputation. Everyone out there is going to be calling him a dog, saying that's a dog act, and that actually is not a dog act.
You agree?
No, I totally agree with everything you just said there. I think he does hit his arm, shoulder first before the head. Don't get me. I don't know why Chris O can't come out and say, look, that you don't have to refer that to the tribunal. I think common sense. You say, OK,
2 weeks.
That gets him high. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
If Lindsay Thomas had put that hit on Higgins and it wasn't young Burton for Hawthorn, we'd all be talking about Lindsay Thomas getting more weeks. And
that's a big call, Doug. What you're saying that the different rules for different players in this game.
There always has been. If you've got a track record, Lindsay Thomas has got a track record, and I think with the fanfare and Lingy's comments and other people's comments over the weekend.
So you think that influences the match? Michael Christian and Steve Falken. You think they're influenced by the media talk leading into it?
Yes, they're human.
So, Duck, what you're actually doing there by association?
I know exactly what I'm doing.
You're questioning the integrity of two pretty senior people.
I'm telling you now that if Lindsay Thomas put the bump on Higgins like Burton, we'd be talking about something different.
Do you think that impact is severe, to send it straight to a tribunal?
I thought it would have been 2 weeks. Careless, high. Now, it's pretty but it's pretty close to that, Brent. It's careless, high, severe. So under the table, it goes to the tribunal. It's not that different.
Because of the grading?
Because they've graded the impact as severe instead of high.
Of all
Brandy, you're sensitive to this because you've been involved in a couple of incidents over the journey, and people have attacked you in the past. Does it affect your reputation? Affect you personally?
It affects your reputation for the rest of your life. And Lindsay Thomas is going to have to live with that, as you need to live by the actions. But that's not a dog act. I don't think anyone in the football world can look at that and say it's a dog act. That's when you hit someone from behind.
I've never seen a reaction like this. Lindsay Thomas made a huge error. He ran past the ball. He could have taken the ball. He didn't. He hit the player in the head. All those things. But I've seen many players do that. I feel like Stephen May did one of the biggest hits I've ever seen last year. But I don't think we saw the commentary around this. I'm feeling like Lindsay Thomas, because of the diving, a little bit of a past history with a bit of a rap sheet, that everyone's just piled in like I've never seen before with a player and a bump. I've seen far worse. I've heard it linked to Byron Pickett back in the day, Michael Long on Troy Simmons, Juddy. That was nothing like that.
No, and I think things that happen behind play are far worse than something that happens in play when you've got a split second to make a decision. And I think you're right. He's being judged harshly for past events or people's personal opinions about him. He made a mistake, but we've seen far worse than that.
So it's going to the tribunal because of his past history?
No, I think that it deserves to go to the tribunal because it was a really serious hit. But I think the language around that being a dog act and things like that, I don't think that speaks to the seriousness of that act.
Yeah, I thought it was really unfair on Lindsay. He'll pay a pretty big price, won't he? Because
he deserves to get a couple of weeks, sure.
Yeah,
but I think
but getting back in the team will be hard.
I think because they could have given him 2 weeks, but I think going to the tribunal, they're going to give him more than that.